Hey, traders, noobs, apes, Drippy Gang members, welcome to the Drippyverse. This is Drippy, your source of options drip on a daily basis. Here we talk about some of the most exciting setups based on the options flow, technical analysis, pattern analysis, macroeconomic events, and current market structure. So if you want to make some tendies, stick around. My goal is for all of you to achieve financial freedom and create life changing wealth. On the screen, I have my YouTube account, and I just wanted to go over this join feature, which is new. A lot of folks have already joined. We have two memberships here, $3.99 per month, and this is basically you can participate in live stream chats. Right now, live stream is only members only, so it's a good way for you to kind of like shout out if you want me to see your ticker or anything like that. It's like $4 a month, guys. I'm working my so hard, so it doesn't, like, this is nothing for you guys. This is like Starbucks money, and Google is taking 30% of the cut. So trust me, I'm not really making a lot of the from this. It's just for me to support the channel, and like, I'm putting in hours of work here. So you can see the perks here. A lot of folks have already joined. I alerted two tickers so far. Charge Point. I alerted couple Charge Point, and one I'm gonna talk about today. And people are already banked on that. Atom was another one. People banked on that. So you don't want to miss out on some good opportunities, which I post here on YouTube as well. And Discord is coming soon. So everything is looking good. Let's go over today's weekly setups. Before I move forward with all of this, I've already told you guys that trading is my passion, and I'm not a financial advisor. So any stuff I share here is just my opinion. You are responsible for managing your risk and taking profit. And guys, please like, subscribe, retweet, anything possible for you to share this content. Please do it, because I'm putting in an extremely large amount of hours. Trust me, I've like put whole day today in just recording stuff for you guys. So if you want to help me, these are the two ways: either join this or just sorry about that. Yeah, either join this or just support me by sharing stuff. That's the best way for you guys. Okay, so without further ado, today I'm gonna talk about a couple setups here, 5 or 6 setups, ready to pop next week. First, I'm gonna talk about is PANW. It's PANW, Palo Alto Networks, and this is a security internet security company. And the chart looks really good here. It had a power earnings gap. The new earnings are coming up now, 18th of November, which is next week. And it's been in a steady uptrend so far, holding the CMA and catching up to the CMA and the small one. And then you can see here it's it's in a squeeze. And RSI is also kind of just pretty much just like hovering around above the 50 area. The MACD is about to call on the daily to the positive side, and these are the levels are marked here. Once it breaks 521 area, next target would be 525, 530, 536, 547, 550, and 564. Those are the targets. Earnings are coming up again, and let's look at the flow for this one. So here in the settings, I have 1 week of data for the flow, and I have premium range sets to 50,000, bid and ask both, DTE range 1 and 1 to 30, out of money only, and I'm gonna remove this single leg only. And then let's look at PANW. I think it should, let me just reset it, because sometimes you need to fix the time here. So I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna set this to 50,000. Sorry, not that. I'm gonna sort this by premium. Gonna add this to our money only, and then let's add PANW. Now, I want to add another stuff here, which is basically when you look at this chart, when you look at this, right, when you look at this, you can see here it's around 60% bullish here, and which is pretty good sign. And you can see here that most of the premium here is concentrated on 17th of December 2021, and the target strikes are 490. But then once you kind of change this TTE range to 1 to 30, that's when the things like get interesting for PANW. 1 to 60, sorry. And then yeah, now you can see that once you look at the chart here, again 62%, so looking good so far. And then let's do 100,000 plus, and then now you can see here these are sold puts. Let's look at the activity on Friday, and then you can see here 57% bullish. And then let's go here. Oh, sorry, my bad. Today's breakdown, and you can see here these are again sold puts, and then some calls are being bought for 510 strike here, 510, which is out of money because this, sorry, which is near the money. Right now the stock is at 515. So keep this on the watch. you know it's not like you have to uh, take the trade just because the chart is looking bullish. We have to be careful about the earnings. It can easily drop as well. This is an earnings play. You can't put a lot of money on it. Okay, it's not like regular swing play for me, but I just wanted to include this because I think it's ready to go and make next move up. And another sympathy play, if you don't want to play earnings, is CrowdStrike. Now if you look at CrowdStrike here, it's the chart actually, in my opinion, looks better than PANW, because you can see here it's kind of like in this uptrend, and it's trying to break out of this channel. We have this weekly squeeze on this one, daily and weekly squeeze, and its momentum is strong on this one, and it's just in a healthy uptrend. You can see here it didn't close on a weekly basis above 280 286 area, so I'm waiting for it to kind of like close above 286. Even on the daily you can see it's been rejected couple of times around 290 area. So keep this on your watch. I think earnings are coming up, that could be the catalyst. The flow for a crowd, let's go back and look at the flow for it fast, and then let's go to the filters here. 1 to 60 is looking good, sort by premium, out of money only. And we can see here the premium is bullish again for 17th of December, right? And then let's change the date to 30 days, and we don't really have a lot of orders here for 30 days for our money. So that's the only, I mean, this is 66% bearish. But then let's this is a 50,000 here to kind of get a better picture, and then now it's kind of neutral here at this point. So let's keep watching the flow for this one again. But I think these two are like sympathy play, and like the sector is really good. Like look at Zscaler here, it's just been on a non-stop run here. Look at Splunk, it just broke out, now consolidating. So I mean, some of these names like CrowdStrike can move when they move, so keep them in your watch list for next week. Another one I'm going to talk about is American Express. Now American Express, I've been already in this one for a while, and like it made this new high around earnings, and then I alerted on Twitter that like this was anchored VWAP support here from like the last support area from the bottom, swing bottom here, and it kept bouncing from this. And then again we saw here we literally entered around this area, and been swinging this, and now it's consolidating below 185, and it's like a bull flag here. And if you look at the weekly chart again, like look at this looks really good. On the weekly, it's in a squeeze, so ready to fire to the upside. In my opinion, the earnings were phenomenal for this, and holiday season is coming up. People are going to spend money on credit cards, looking really good. And then even this all-time high is going to act as a support area from last couple of times this VWAP. So looking good. You can go long break of 185, or you can just buy 185 calls. This is a good area to manage your risk against right here. This looks really good. It was previous resistance, now it turned to support, and it's just been consolidating here for a while. So I think it's ready to make that next move up, in my opinion. And let's look at the flow for this one. If you look at the flow, you know um, let's change this time. I think because of this time, the flow might be messed up for some of the names I was mentioning to you guys. Yeah, so 60 days here, you can see that someone bought for December 12th again, 185 out of money call. And this is not a lot of premium, but this name doesn't really have a lot of premium. I think this is not a highly liquid stock with respect to option contracts, but still the spread is pretty nice for us. I'm already in this one, and I'm hoping to kind of get 185 this week, but looking good so far. If you look at the chart also, I mean, this is only few calls, so you gotta look at the actual flow for this. So if you look at the today's breakdown and look at the open interest here, not a lot of contracts here. We are seeing that there's some puts here for 180, but this could be from the last week, so we need to see what happens on Monday. And bullish premium is still like 46%, so I'm still looking. This call was on 10th. It was so 10th was on this day, and bullish premium was 60%. And since then, the stock hasn't moved much. It's just one couple percent, so this person is still holding these contracts. So you can either buy December contracts, you can buy November 19th, you can play it safe. This stock kind of is volatile, can go up and down. You can see here on a weekly basis, better to buy, I would say, 2 to 3 weeks out, 185 calls and then 190 calls. Excuse me, these are my targets, 185 and 190. And let's play it intraday and swing both. I'm gonna get 2 to 3 weeks out calls for this one. Next thing I'm gonna talk about is Twitter. Now Twitter is completely beaten down stock right now, but if you look at from a higher time frame perspective here, this area was resistance for a while, and now is acting as a support here. Now it might break it, but let's look at the overall chart though. I mean, it's still kind of like a formation of a cup and handle on a weekly, on a higher time frame, so it might take some time to develop. But just looking at this chart right now and just looking at this daily chart, the RSI is completely oversold on this one. And I mean, like, Twitter is a really popular name, so we might see some action here. So I'm waiting for the break of this level 53.33. If tech is strong, we can at least see 55, and then finally we can see 58. So my levels for Twitter would be, excuse me. First, I want to see it break the, at least retest the 55 area, and then I want to see it retest 58 area, and then finally I want to see it fill this gap here to 60. And let's look at the flow for Twitter to see what's going on with this name. And you can see these are bullish, some bullish activity on it. 57 and 55 are out of money calls. These were on 9th around 3. So it's, I mean, like, let's look at what's going on on the chart itself. The flow history, and you can see here that it hasn't moved much since that day. And if you look at these calls here, These are December expiry. Some of them are November 19th, which is next week. This one is 57 call for 120K. So an overall flow was 60% on Friday, but it didn't move much. So, keep an eye on this one. We can see some good premium spike on this on Monday. Definitely watching this one for swing play and intraday, because Twitter can move. And, like once it kind of moves, it might retest these areas. So, like you see here, this was earnings gap here, and then kind of it turned back, and then, it had a rally. So good, we can see something similar here, like something like this here. So keep an eye on Twitter, guys. Okay, so next one I want to talk about is Plan, and I've been in Plan with Drip Rookie Gang. I alerted this to them, and look how pretty the setup is right now. It's right on this trend line, and we had a hammer close there on the daily the other day. Look at the weekly chart here, still in this pennant formation, and monthly chart again. Like, so let's look at the daily chart for a second here. So when you look at this chart here, you can see some things which are clear. First, the earnings are coming up, and this is a cloud name. And more, I mean, like, this name is really popular right now because of COVID. A lot of companies have like contracts with them, and on top of that, like all these cloud names are performing really, really well right now. Like if you look at CFLT, you can look at like DocuSign, and look at Datadog. I mean, all these names are gapping up, and look at Plan. I mean, sorry, look at Team. I mean, like all these names are really, really solid, and Plan is sitting right at this support area. And we got in literally at the bottom here. This is also kind of like a triple bottom on daily. So it's like a reversal. So I'm expecting at least 60. I mean, these are my levels here, 62.5 area, and then 65 area, and then finally test of this earnings gap here, which was last time. And keep in mind, earnings are coming up. I am expecting an earnings beat, but let's look at the flow every day for this one. Right now, I don't see a significant activity on it, except I see here that on 10th we see here was a $60 put here. And when you look at this chart here, $60 put is now in the money. So this person might have already sold this one. And let's look at the flow history for a sec here. So you can see here it was 64% the other day, and call volume is not that much though. So I'm expecting as we approach the earnings, we'll see some kind of call volume coming in for Plan, and we'll see some kind of action here. And you can easily manage your risk here. If it breaks below, let's say $60 mark, easy to get out. We are already in the swings for this one. So really, really good setup in my opinion to manage the risk. And it's also like this kind of correction pattern. So I'm hoping that we see next leg up until this 65 area, and then either it breaks out or breaks down, doesn't matter, we can make a decent amount of money on this one. Let's move to the next one I want to talk about is MGM. Now MGM made all-time high, and then the squeeze already fired to the upside, keep in mind. And it broke out of not all-time high, sorry, swing high for a while from 2013, even like from, let's see, from 2005, this was the highest it made. So now, like bulls need to show they're in charge, and so this is their time to show that they are in charge. These recovery names have beaten down last week significantly, and now I'm starting to see some kind of like support here. And you can see that this broke out of this ascending triangle, and it's retesting now. So this is a perfect way to manage your risk. Another good entry area in my opinion would be around 42.8. So $3 drop from that. If it drops, because there's another support line here, that would be a perfect entry. But if it doesn't, then I mean, I'm expecting it to kind of consolidate here for, like MGM does, for a couple days, and then make a move up. And but keep one thing in mind here, that it does have this squeeze to the downside. So that's why I'm saying I want to see it consolidate for 2 or 3 days. But the volume here is not that much since this breakout, and it's literally at the back at the same point where it broke out from. So it might retest here like AXP did, and then bounce from there. And like we can also draw this like anchored VWAP, and you can see here that it's been holding here. So I'm expecting it to kind of retest this area 43.1. So this area was definitely somewhere I would like to buy, 43 area, and you can go long around here. And if it breaks down, easy to get out from here for swing plays. Like it's easy to manage risk here. uh, and then flow is not really significant on this one. You can like there's nothing here, so I'm gonna skip it. Let's keep monitoring the flow though. And then finally I want to talk about is Matt, which is Mattel. And Mattels are basically like, like all the Barbie stuff, like holiday toys. Now look at this chart. It broke out from this like long squeeze, just broke out on last week. Strong close, MACD curled positive, and 22. I mean, it couldn't close below this area for a while. Since March area, it's been trying to break through this, and now finally it had a strong close here. And I'm expecting it to retest 23.3, kind of like consolidate around that area. And if the volume is strong, then it can easily test 25 area. I mean, look, this is like all, you can also call this a channel breakout. You can look at it as other way as well, depending on how you draw your wicks. And you can see like it's a channel breakout as well, and it's a bull flag formation here on the daily chart here. The RSI is definitely a little bit extended at this point for this stock, so maybe we'll see some kind of consolidation here more, and then a breakout. But I mean, keep in mind it has been on non-stop run ever since that earnings sell-off, pre-earnings sell-off, and then it's been running non-stop. The setup looks really good. Maybe it will retest this area again, and that would be a perfect entry to get in the swing play. And if it breaks out of this area, then we can go long. So above 23, like we can see 23, 24, 25 fast. I mean, look at this chart. I mean, um, you know if you look at the long term trend here, it broke through this trend here, and now it's like I don't think you can make a trend line here from here to here, but you can see here that it's trying to break out of this downtrend now. Like the momentum is to the upside, and this stock, once it picks a direction here, you can also look at this as a you know sorry, not the right tool. You can also look at this as a cup, you know and handle, and then break to the upside. um, keep an eye on this one. I'm waiting for pullbacks. So all these plays except maybe AXP, you know, and Twitter, I'm waiting for pullbacks. I mean, this one is an earnings play, so it's kind of like lotto. But MGM, I'm waiting to see what happens. So most swing plays, I'm waiting to see what happens. Last week we didn't really see a lot of I didn't see a lot of bullish flow on tickers I would like to trade, so I'm not going to force myself to trade if I don't find any good entry. Another thing I want to talk about is ABBV. It's looking really solid, guys. I'm already still in it, just consolidating here, ready to break to the next level. Okay, another ticker I am in and alerted is ChargePoint. ChargePoint is also looking really good. I mean, it just broke out of this long consolidation, long wedge, and then now it broke out. We are already in ChargePoint. I alerted the on YouTube, and we got around this area. It's been like I think it will retest this 28, and then next leg up. Let's keep the infrastructure bill is a good news. Okay, and then finally I want to talk about the cannabis name, like Sundial. Now Sundial broke out and it had a strong close. No doubt the chart looks really good, and the flow is also really bullish on these names. A lot of people are talking about it, so keep that in mind. I don't really like to trade Sundial because the company fundamentals are not that good, but in my opinion, it's a good time to kind of trade this stock. I'm gonna keep it eye on for intraday setups, but you can also swing them if you like. So these are my setups, guys. Please like, subscribe, comment. Been putting out hours non-stop for you guys. Um, you know, this week's theme is patience. Be patient this week, okay? And if you don't see a good opportunity for entries, we can always scalp and play intraday setups. Don't rush yourself in swing plays. That's my advice. And until tomorrow, see you guys later. Good night. Bye.